Angel Reese has been one of the most controversial players across the WNBA, but despite all that noise, Reese is still having a very good rookie year by just becoming the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 20 double-doubles. Now Reese does a vast majority of her work around the basket, where at 6'3", she has pretty good size and physicality, being able to seal off the defense and get deep post position, setting up these easy catch and finishes. You'll see her here in transition get this defender below the restricted area, and when she catches the ball, this is just an easy bank shot. Angel in the post will also use some different pivots to create scoring windows. Notice on this play how she's going to catch and put her right shoulder into the defense, setting up this baby hook back towards the middle. This is also a nice move here, where Reese is going to again catch and turn out towards her left, but notice how she's going to lift her eyes and head up, which pulls this defender out of her stance, creating space for the step through.
With the catch on the post and wiggles her way in for...
Now offensively, I think Reese does her best work on the offensive glass. So far this year, 22% of Angel's total offense has come from offensive rebounds, which puts her in the 95th percentile across the WNBA. On the glass, Reese is an absolute problem for the defense, where her physicality, motor, and underrated quickness makes it difficult for the defense to track her. When snagging these boards, Reese both has the physicality to come down with the ball, to then force it back up through contact, plus the feel and touch to get these putbacks in midair. Now many of these buckets may not be super graceful or flashy, but it does provide a lot of value to her team, and being able to keep possessions alive by attacking the offensive glass does have a huge impact on winning.
Snatches it out of the air, puts it back.
Now Reese's finishing at the basket is pretty limited, and we'll talk about that more in depth later in this video, but because she has the size and strength to hold her ground in the paint, this allows her to collect her own misses, to then put the ball back up for easy twos. You'll see Angel here initially get her first layup blocked, but she's able to keep her space on the way down, allowing her to rise back up into this finish. This play really shows how good Reese's motor is, where she first misses this leaning layup across her right side, but then she's able to fight through these two defenders, to then get this putback on the left side. So Reese overall is great at scrapping down low and working for easy buckets, which again doesn't lead to her having this glamoring highlight reel, but her ability to play physical and outwork the defense is a real plus. But this is now where we have to transition and look at some negatives. While Angel is a really scrappy player, and she works hard for shots around the basket, her overall field goal percentage is pretty bad. So far this year, Reese is shooting below 42% on all her shots around the basket, which puts her at a pretty low rating compared to the rest of the WNBA. When looking closer at these clips, one of Reese's biggest problems is that she gets absolutely no lift off the floor, which both allows the defense to easily make plays on the ball, but it also makes every shot for her much more difficult, simply because the ball has to travel more distance to the basket, which obviously gives it more room for error.
There's Reese getting away from the team.
Now, like we went over, Reese does have the physicality to get good position down low, but once she catches, that lack of elevation makes everything tougher. Watch her here catch and rip towards her right, and she's able to bump and jump stop deep into the paint. But from this spot, she doesn't have the explosiveness to make this an easy finish. We can see the same thing here, where she's gonna again pivot around to her right, and after getting herself in good position, she still doesn't have the elevation to finish. Now, I'm not saying that Angela needs to go out and get a 40-inch vert, but I still think she can slightly improve this part of her game. I also think a lot of this comes down to her balance. Whenever Reese is attacking, she commonly folds her upper body forward, causing her to commonly stumble and catch herself, while also trying to come to a stable base, and this can lead to some pretty clumsy plays. I think if Reese can improve both her balance and stability, that will lead to her being able to deal with contact better, while also being able to keep her base while attacking the basket, which will then most likely lead to her numbers in the paint improving. Now, from a skill standpoint, I also think Reese could get better at mapping the whole floor. There's many possessions where she plays with tunnel vision and attacks right into traffic. Take this play for example. We'll see Reese catch here with the entire left side of the floor to work with, and with the ball side corner empty, Angel should set up a move to attack to her left and away from help, but she instead elects to dribble right into traffic.
Reese Into the lane.
Now going forward, one area of Angel's game that she could build out on is her mid-post scoring. If Angel is given any space from 18 feet and under, she has no problem pulling the trigger. And while her percentages from these spots aren't great, I still think she has the potential to be a respectable shooter from these spots. And if she can consistently knock down these in-between looks, that will force her defender to step out and meet her outside of the paint, which then opens up her slashing. When attacking the defense facing up, Reese does have a pretty good first step. Watch her here get the defense leaning with this jab step, setting up a clean driving line to her left.
With Ariel Atkins doing the same.
I like this move here, where she takes a dribble as if she's going to initiate a handoff, but then she gets this push cross back to her left. So while Reese overall doesn't have the most dynamic scoring game, she still provides plenty of value as an offensive rebounder. And while her numbers in the paint aren't great, she's still able to make up for it by simply outworking the defense and getting more shots. I think if Angela can improve her balance and explosiveness in the paint, while also getting more consistent as an outside shooter, I think she can for sure average over 20 points per game, which is scary when you combine that with her already elite rebounding. Now when switching over and looking at Reese's defense, this is where I think she has way more versatility, being able to effectively defend from every spot on the floor. We can start by looking at her defense in the paint, where Angel has the size and length to provide a good layer of resistance down low. We'll see her here on the weak side slide across the paint to double the ball, and she's got the size and reach to take away any clear scoring or passing option. And on top of that verticality, Reese also has the ability to drop down, taking away any bounce or wraparound pass. Reese's length and fast hands also carries over to her perimeter defense, where she's great at reading the offense and deflecting any pass in her airspace. And if the offense tries to attack off a live dribble, Angel also has really good timing in picking their pocket. Notice on this play how she's going to read the offense cross the ball to their left, and she perfectly times the ball by poking it free as it travels to the offense's outside pocket. Now similar to her offense, Reese's balance and stability is a little bit shaky. If the offense is able to open up her hips and attack her body, Angel does have a hard time staying on balance.
Attacking Reese, count the bucket.
But overall, Reese is still a pretty versatile defender, having the physical tools to effectively match up with 4s and 5s, plus the foot speed to step out and guard on the perimeter. Now when looking at her defense off the ball, this is where I think she has the biggest room for improvement. Because while Reese does have the tools to be a really effective defender in gap, her focus can be a little inconsistent by either giving up backdoor cuts or giving pretty much no effort on rotations. Notice on this play how the roller is going to catch this pocket pass with a clear runway to the rim, and Reese on the weak side is okay with giving up this layup. Now on this play, Reese makes a good initial effort by stunting down, then scrambling back out to the corner. But on this closeout, she doesn't put a hand up to contest, giving the offense a clear window to get the shot up. So while Reese's focus can improve in spots, she's still easily a plus defender. And when looking at her total impact on both ends of the court, it's safe to say that Angel Reese is a really good basketball player. She may not rack up the flashy highlights of other WNBA players, but her current impact and potential is undeniable. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who the kids should break down next. The kids here.